I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a great warm welcome will be waiting for me, where the crowds will cheer when they see my face, and the voice keeps saying, "This is where I'm meant to be." I will find my way. I can go the distance. I'll be there someday. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. I would go most anywhere to feel like I belong. Hercules! Maybe I think you mean Hercules! Released in 1997 and is directed by Ron Clements and John Musker, who have also directed such films like The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Treasure Planet, and The Princess and the Frog. And this film is starring the voices of Tate Donovan, Danny DeVito, Susan Egan, Rip Thorne, and James Woods, who made the character of Hades his own. I know that the creators had a different interpretation in mind when they were originally conceiving this idea of this cartoon, and then James Woods auditioned for the role of Hades, and the creators were like, okay, we like that, and we're going to change some things. When it comes to directing, it's a 90% casting. When you have the right cast, usually everything falls into place, and it definitely happened for James Woods. In the lands of ancient Greece, the lands are ruled by a league of gods under the leadership of Zeus, who has just had a newly baby boy by the name of Hercules. However, this new addition to the family does not sit well with the god of the underworld, Hades, who has been planning his takeover of Mount Olympus and the gods for 18 years. So in order to get Hercules out of the picture, he hatches a scheme to kidnap Hercules, turn him mortal, and slaughter him. However, that does not go completely according to plan, as Hercules does maintain all of his godlike strength. Several years later, Hercules is a grown boy and learns that his father is actually the god Zeus, and in order to join his family on top of Mount Olympus, he seeks to become a true hero. Loosely based on the Greek legend of Hercules. And boy, you can tell that this is Disney because everything here is so lovey-dovey. Oh, my parents, Zeus and Hera, oh, they're so in love, husband and wife, and everything is perfect and everyone is happy who is a god and who is living on the lands. That's not so, according to the actual legends. The real-life Zeus is actually a prick who couldn't keep it in his pants. Was Hera his queen? Sure, but gosh, every other woman that he found attractive, he had. And he had many sons from said relations. But this is Disney, we have to promote a platonic family, so that's what we get here. I remember seeing this as a kid. I lived in Del Rapids, South Dakota, which probably all of you out there have never heard of before because it's a small little podunk town, but I loved it. We had this small one-screen theater that I actually looked up the other day, and it is still there, surprisingly. And it was so small, so you didn't have big audiences. They had the curtains up in front of the screen, and then when the movie started, they pulled back the curtains. It looked like an actual, theater performance. I loved that theater, and actually, going there, living there for several years, I actually wanted to retire by purchasing that theater and living out of the apartment above it. That's what I considered to be a happy retirement life for me. Running your own theater, kind of like what they do in the Majestic. That's what I wanted my life to be. And then I realized just how crappy the whole movie theater business is and how theater companies are to movie theaters. And then, of course, with this whole pandemic thing in the last year, buying a movie theater is probably not the smartest and best business venture someone could make. It was still an amazing time for me as a kid, though. And this was one of those Disney cartoons that I would watch on repeat once we got it on VHS, watching it over and over and over again. I loved all of the music, and I'm always a sucker when you talk about Greek mythology and you talk about legends, you talk about gods from Mount Olympus. I am in. Regardless of if it's a TV show, if it's a book, if it's a terrible movie, I will probably watch it. So to see Disney's spin on it, it just made it that much better for me. I had not seen it in forever though, thank God for Disney Plus. And this time around, I was actually paying attention to the design, and you notice all of the Greek swirls and Greek architecture lines that we actually have from ancient Greece. It's all implemented here somewhere in the background and sometimes in the anatomy of these characters. Some of these characters' nipples are those Greek squirrels. Their hair, their clothing, their sandals, their vehicles that they drive all have these Greek architecture lines, and it's really cool. Plus, I also love the storytelling device of this movie. I teach theater at a university, and one of the lectures that I have, at least a major section of that lecture, focuses on the Greeks. Because when we talk about theater, when we talk about organized theater and performances, everything really stems back to the Greek period. And the way that plays were performed back then, they would have what is known as a Greek chorus who would come out, and they would introduce the crowd to the myth or the legend of what was about to be told in this play. So they would do unified song and unified choreography, and then the actors, particularly Thespis, that's where the word thespian comes from, that's why actors are known as thespians, because Thespis was the very first actor, they would come out and perform the characters and perform the scene, and then when that scene is over, the Greek chorus comes back out and just kind of reiterates what happens and lets the audience know, okay, here's how you should be feeling about what just happened here, and keep an eye out of what was said there because it's going to come back again later on in the show. We have the same thing that happens here in this movie. We have the muses. The songs that they sing in this movie are much more elaborate than the songs that the Greek chorus sang back in old Greek times, but it's still the same structure. The muses sing, they recap what just happened, and then we move on to the next scene where Hercules and Phil come out. It still stuns me to know that Danny DeVito was the voice of Phil in this film, and he's such a heart-loving, beloved character in this movie, and yet he plays a character like Frank in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The man is versatile, I'll give him that. He's one of those people, though, that just has a noticeable voice and such a character voice. When applied correctly, it works magnificently. Same thing goes with James Woods, who is the standout, who makes this movie its own thing. His crooner, ease of delivery type method with this character, who, if anyone else goes in there, is probably trying to be as menacing and as evil as possible. But here James Woods is, and this Hades character is the guy who's gonna sit back in a recliner with a martini and be like, hey, baby, how's shaking? Mr. Zeus, Mr. Hey, you get off my cloud. Now he has this bouncing baby boy. He is awesome. He's one of the best cartoon villains that Disney ever produced. I have such fond memories, and it was a great time revisiting this movie. However, something that is dinging this movie a little for me is that this last time viewing it, and I never realized this growing up, but this time viewing it, I realized that the beats in this movie are the exact same from Superman the movie in 1978. Every single beat. This all-powerful character descends from the skies and is picked up by this farmer who can't have children, and he grows up over the years with all these hidden powers not knowing where they come from. And he finally finds out where they come from, and now he wants to make his father proud by going out and helping people. Until eventually he is challenged by the main antagonist, and the love of his life ends up dead. But then our main superhero undoes the natural order of things. Hercules goes down to Hades and picks up Meg's soul and brings it back to her. Superman in that movie spun the world around in the opposite direction, reversing time and saving Lois Lane's life. It's the exact same movie. Now, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, so it's a story that works, so it makes sense. Yeah, sure, let's borrow from it. But it is very close to plagiarism. If Richard Donner and Warner Brothers really wanted to sue Disney back then for the comparison, they probably would have either won or got a huge settlement out of it, because there is no way of denying that those two are two separate things. They are both the same. One's just a cartoon, and one is live action with Christopher Reeve. So after realizing this last time, I do have to ding points on this movie for its originality. It's still a really fun movie, though. Alan Menken returns. He's the best songwriter of the whole Disney universe. Whenever he's on it, he will come up with a song that will stick with you for the rest of your life, as he did with this movie. It's a solid entry into the whole Disney cartoon universe. I wouldn't put it in my top 5 or hell even my top 10 if it's in my top 10 of favorite Disney cartoons. It's going to be at 9 or 10, but that's pushing it. I have to give it some thought with that one, actually. I'm going to give Hercules 3.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I am above average.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my videos where I randomly select which movie I'm going to be watching next, so let's take a look. Right. Yes. Army of Darkness. This is my boomstick. I haven't seen that movie in years. But I remember the first time watching going, what the hell is this? This is so freaking stupid, and yet I can't look away. And I think it's the third part of the whole Evil Dead franchise thing. A very loose installment of the Evil Dead franchise, but it's part of it. And Bruce Campbell, how can you deny or hate anything that he is in? So I haven't seen this in a while. I'm really excited to check this out again. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, you can leave a recommendation below this video, or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter, leave your recommendation there, and if I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and give you a shout on the channel. And if you want me to do your recommendation as quickly as I possibly can and bypass the whole random generator that I have here, you can make a PayPal donation on the main page of my YouTube channel. Any size donation will do, just attach your movie with the donation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it and publish my review of it as quickly as I possibly can. So guys, if you've seen Hercules, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Army of Darkness. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.